history where I could stand and say, old British begins here, now.
Falling on the ground, long day but we won't back down. One thing playing on our minds, long wait but we won't give up now. You crave the love I gave and we'll do it again. A cold night getting warmer now, the ground shakes as our love gets loud. The champions of the night. We are the champions of the night. Yeah. We are the fighting tide, the ones that burn so bright. We are the champions of the night. Can't tell if we're dreaming now. We watch as the fire falls down. One thing playing on our minds. Time stops and we don't make a sound. You crave the love I gave and we'll do it again. A cold night getting warmer now. The ground shakes as our love gets loud. Champions of the night. I'm ready to
Hello?
champions of the night.
I believe I was muted, folks. Welcome to the Academy Gaming Weekly number 10. I'm your host, Storm, and I'm joined tonight by Aerox. How are you doing tonight?
Doing great. How are you, dude?
Not too bad. We got 9 teams in tonight's tournament, which is a rather good turnout. We had 10 last week, but 9 is pretty solid as well. Our first game tonight will be, if I'm not mistaken, Mango Tango against Swag Lords. We're going to go ahead and take a quick look at the brackets right now. Look at the top there. We've got the Dream getting the first round bye. We've got We Shoot Blanks against Random Meta, Swagatron. Excuse me for that little misquick there. We got Swagatron 5000 against Gods and Shirts Policy, and we got Sarah's Fortuna against Drop the Sauce. And at the bottom, we have the streamed match for the night. The first one of 3 or 4 we'll have to see here is Mango Tango against Swag Lords. I do want to make a few announcements before we go ahead and get started with tonight's tournament. I do want to say next Monday, I believe the 16th, the tournament will not be streamed. I will be away. I have my admins who will be running it, and there will be an 8-team limit and no free agents will it be allowed next Monday. So go ahead and get signed up for that tonight if you want to get in, as there's an 8-team limit, seeing as I won't be there and my admins will be running it. I do want to state that we do have 2 800 gem code giveaways tonight on stream. One will be in the middle of the stream and one will be after all the action is done. And the final announcement, I do want to say the European Tournament of the Gods was the previous name, has been taken under the Academy Gaming name, and they will be having their tournaments every other Saturday for the time being. I believe next Saturday will be the next tournament for the Academy Gaming EU, and I'm sure in a few weeks they will be moving it to every Monday night. So that's enough for announcements. Let's go ahead and take a look at the builds for each team here.
Is that a cue?
I was telling teams to actually hop on the teams here. We've got Swag Lords on the red team and Mango on the blue team here. If you want to go ahead and take a look at the red team's builds for us, Aerox.
All right. I don't really know these teams that well, but I'm just going over the builds right now. I'm going to go over blue team first because they have all their members. They're running what seems to be quite a normal composition actually, except this is kind of reminiscent on Team Genesis, I believe, with the Thief Mesmer. I don't really recognize any names except for Marvin and yeah, it's Curry and Reika. Seem to be running somewhat like a kind of have 3 more bunkier players kind of hold the points while the 2 Thief and Mesmer kind of rotate in between the points, taking out members. I think the Thief is running Dagger Pistol, running with Blinding Power, which is an alternative to the regular Dagger Pistol. Running with Panic Strike. This is something that's been coming up in the NA meta, particularly recently. And then we have Marvin running Celestial, NG. This is kind of an all-around good fighter with both good Conti damage and good physical damage, as well as good support for the team. Yeah, and then we have FineNet is running DD Celestial Elementalist. Again, really good at holding points, very similar to the NG. However, a lot more bunker focus, a lot more defense. And we have Curry running seems to be Shoutbow. It's more like I think the biggest thing about the Celestial Warriors with the additional banner, which is come a lot in team fights. And then we have Reika running the Mesmer, which seems to be quite standard, except for Mantra Resolve. I don't think is usually there. Running what seems to be just the typical Shatter build with 44006. All right, I'm gonna go over red team now. You want to go for it?
I'll take the red team here. We've got AK running Warrior for the red team here. I believe he's going to be running a very interesting Condi build. He's got the Sword Mace Longbow with the Sigil of Doom and Torment on the Sword Mace, and he's got Geomancy and Hydromancy on the Longbow with Runes of the Nightmare and Rabbit Amulet, and his traits are going to be 56003. He's going to be running with Fear Me, Kick, and Berserker Stance, and he has his Signet. So this is something I have never seen before. I do know he did mention to me earlier he had a new condition build he wanted to try out, so this is a little bit of a... I didn't think it'd be this radical, to be honest. I mean, obviously, up in the strength, that's going to give him a lot of more condition damage, but even so, this is a very interesting setup that he's got here. We've got another warrior for the red team, Swag Lord, who is going to be playing the Shout Bow for his team. Obviously, he's got the Runes of the Soldier and Celestial Amulet and the 10463 traits. We've got Feisty Girl next for this team, who's going to be riding Dagger Elementalist here. Nothing too special about his build. And we've got Schnicky over here, who is going to be playing Fresh Air Ellie. He's got the Scepter Focus, and he's got the Sigil of Air and Fire. Obviously, the Runes of the Pack and Berserker Amulet, and his traits are going to be 06044, and he's going to put out a lot of damage. Shnicky's very good at doing this. If I'm not mistaken, it's the only build he has actually played at a high level. So this isn't anything to be too shocked of, but I think it's going to combo very well with Zoe, who is the thief for this team, who will be playing DP Panic Strike as well, with traits being 60206. And she also does have Blinding Powder, so no Signet for her there. So, you know, kind of identical thieves on both teams here. I'm going to go ahead and try and get these guys to ready up. Any predictions about these teams going at it?
I don't really know. I think these two teams are pug teams, so I don't really know exactly who will come on top here, or I don't really have any prediction. In terms of like I don't know. I kind of want to put blue team up here in a little bit of favor just based on composition. I mean, the thing is, like, if the Mesmer can really utilize that portal, but I'm not sure if he's going to run portal, using mobility with this kind of synergy of the Thief, I think is a lot more better than with the synergy with the Scepter Focus Ellie and with the Thief. So I'm going to go just based on blue team for this map, just based on composition.
Yeah, I mean, the blue team has the better composition, I think, but I think the red team has a little bit more experience. I mean, we have Zoe, Shnicky, and AK over here. No matter how weird the builds might be, like AK's, I still think they have the more experience on this team here. Obviously, the blue team does have Marvin, so he's got a lot of experience, but I think the red team's got a little bit more. I guess we're going to have to see how this goes. We've got the opening splits coming out for both teams here. Neither team is going to be crossing. Looks like a standard opening for both teams. I might see some stealth play, trying to see if anybody's going to come and burst them right at the start, but both teams just seem to gravitate towards the mid node. Not a lot of, you know, contact from either team until they actually get there.
Yeah, just something noticed back when they're coming back up to mid. The Thief and Mesmer were kind of just hanging around because they're afraid of that push. They're waiting for the other two players, Squisher players, to reveal themselves.
Yeah, we've got Zoe here trying to get on that Mesmer for the blue team, seeing as Mesmer is the biggest threat, but that Thief for the blue team trying to get on him too. Big team fight coming out here. We've got a 4v4. We do have a little bit of play coming out from the red team, pushing to the henge node, seeing if they can get a 1v1 over there. We do have the Elementalist for the blue team. Finit is going down into the downstate. Banner coming out from the blue team just a hair too early. Not going to look too good for them. They are trying to go in for the res regardless. Curie trying to get that res off. Not a whole lot of cleave coming out. I mean, they managed to keep him down. Doesn't look like they're going to get the res off. We do have... Yes, Finitz is going to go down, but we do have the blue team Thief bailing out of that mid fight, going to get the decap on the mine node. The Mesmer for the blue team also going down. So it looks like blue, you know, it's not a huge disadvantage here losing this mid fight. They got decaps everywhere. They've got a 1v1 going on at their home node as well.
I mean, in general, if you're losing fights, you generally want to peel off the other nodes if you're certain, especially when one of your squishy members goes down. It's good to peel it off to the other far, the home and far points.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And we see Marvin forcing Swaglord over there off the point. I'm not sure why he doesn't want to take that 1v1 here. I mean, we have Zoe engaging in this fight on the hand. She's probably not going to want them to get this node anytime soon, seeing as they want to build a lead with that one cap. But blue team only a tick away from getting that. And it looks like red team, uncontested, is going to take that mine point. So they're going to come out with this early 2 cap and start building a lead right out of the start here.
Yeah, what I think blue should do at this point is they should definitely try to secure their home node while having their Mesmer Thief. But it already seems like the blue team Thief is already down point. So this is going to buy the red team extra time for those 2 nodes while they're 5v4. It's going to give the red team an extra lead into this game.
Yeah, that's definitely true. We have the blue team trying to contest the mid node after they take the henge, pushing in gradually one by one here. Probably need to regroup here. I mean, they have their Thief on respawn right now. It wouldn't be wise for them to push into this 5v4 situation. We do have Shnicky making a push towards the, possibly towards the henge node, or just kind of checking what's going to be going on near the beach here.
Yeah, they just gotta wait for the Thief to come back after respawn, and then they gotta group up for a team fight. They cannot be picked off in this situation. I do not really like what Feisty Grill, I mean, the blue team Elementalist is doing right now. Finite going into mid. This is a really risky decision, but it seems like actually blue team's actually pushing to the far node while having their Elementalists and Warriors a distraction at mid. I think this is a very smart move on part of red team.
Yeah, Finite went up to that node and then just decided once his team made that call to go to the mine node, just kind of bailed out of it and started making his way towards there. He's not quite there yet. We've got the fight emerging here, but not a whole lot of progress has been made. Nobody's, for the blue teams, even on the node, just kind of hanging out Probably just waiting for the team. They're kind of making a push for the mid node. The Thief, seeing if he can get a decap there, seeing that the Elementalist is kind of just sitting around there, wasn't able to do a whole lot. So the blue team is finally making a full team push to this mine node. Force a 4v4 here.
Yeah, and so Sticky went down, but got the banner to get him back up. Seems like red team's trying to get on that Mesmer, but the Mesmer seems to be taking a lot of heat here. It's probably going to go down very soon.
Yeah, he's still got his MOA up. He just got his heal off. Not a lot of cooldowns, though, on his distortions there. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised the red team's take him out here with Shinky and Zoe, but don't seem to be focusing him. They're taking out Marvin. Marvin goes into downstate here. AK is super low, though. Swag Lord is super low as well. This isn't looking too good for the blue team, but they could turn this around with just a kill if they're able to take down blue team.
Like, the other two nodes already seem to be in red team's favor. I mean, like, they have full map control at this point.
Yeah, they just full wiped the entire blue team. 4 members of the blue team just died at the mine node. So red team's going to take a solid hold on this game and easily get that spawnier kill.
Feisty Girl's able to come back to, I think, their far node and get that decap there. At this point, Feisty Girl should probably move out and get out of far because all the blue team's on respawn, and they're going to just crash onto far point and take out the red team Elementalist.
That's definitely true. I wouldn't be surprised to see him bail anytime soon if he makes that good. I mean, he still has lightning flash up, so he's able to get out of there. Doesn't have FGS, though, for another 2 minutes. So he's got 3 members of blue team on him. He's very lightning flash, trying to get out of this predicament. He does have many of his team members around, kind of sitting around Chieftain, probably trying to snipe that kill. He is just going to come back onto the node. Blue team seems to be a little bit lost on what they want to do here.
Well, they seem to want to keep pushing into this far node, but I think, like, it's in general a good idea probably to secure their home node first, because you have the kind of advantage of closer spawn. But they could make a push and they could potentially win this, but it seems like they're trying to go into mid instead. But they already have 3 members of red team waiting at mid and waiting for the rotations called out by the red team.
Yeah, we've got two of the tankiest members for the red team. We've got Slaglord here and we've got Feisty Girl. Both just, kind of tanking it out against 3 of the blue team's members. They're not able to make any progress without, their Thief Mez, who are just moving to the mine node where there's nothing there. Both of them don't need to be there. So it's a little bit of an odd move on their part. We do have Marvin going to the downstate here. Stinky doing a lot of damage here. The blue team just doesn't have any damage at this henge node to actually take someone out. So it's not going to be too good of a situation for them to be in here.
Yeah, and at the far node, we see that like the Mez's only kept the cap. But the red team already has like a solid foothold on the rest of the map. None of the players are down. They're going to eventually be out-rotated. And I don't know, like blue team at this point really just needs to like focus on one node, get that one node, and then push out to another point and push a team fight.
Yeah, we do have... Blue team does take that mine node, though, but we have the red team already making a push for it. 8K's in downstate over here. They're trying to get the res on top of him. A lot of damage coming out from the Thief Mez, but is it enough to actually get him... he vengeances instead. That's an odd move. Particularly, I mean, the Mesmer's at full health there. I'm not exactly sure what his thoughts on that were. Maybe just trying to...
going for the swag.
Yeah, just going for the swag there with that name. Red team wasn't able to get the decap on the mine node, possibly taking down Swag Lord. They do take him down. Blue team, if they want to get back in this game, they're down 300 points. Red team only 100 points from taking this game. They're going to have to do something fast here. They're going to have to get some decaps, but I don't foresee that happening, judging upon how the other team fights have went this guy.
Yeah, well... trying to take back mid, but it's not looking too hot for a blue team. I mean, like, it's already capped in the red team's favor, and their LE looks pretty kind of low with all the cooldowns used up. We're kind of pushing, making a simultaneous push at the blue team's home node, and it's going to still take a while with 2 bunkers there trying to take down one Selly LE.
Yeah, it's a 2v1 going on there, and at the midpoint, find that is in the downstate. Was able to get the decap, though, while he was in the downstate. Shnicky not paying a whole lot of attention there. They do take the Mesmer down as well over on the steps here, so red team easily cleaning up that mid-fight. Blue team just kind of seems spread out. They aren't 100% sure what they're going to be doing, seeing as they were in a 1v2 for quite a while at the henge node. Still haven't killed Feisty. Feisty still got 25% health left. Let's go take a look at her over here. Not a lot of cooldowns, but still doing an excellent job of staying alive against a warrior and engineer over there.
Did you see that?
Yeah, blue team seems to be wanting to push into their home node and secure that. But again, like, red team just has full map control. I mean, they already have people at their home node and their mid point, and they're just ready for anything that we will throw at them.
Oh yeah, and Thief, the blue team gets spiked down there by Zoe and Shnicky. Not looking too good. They do take down Feisty Girl, but still, Banner comes out, wasn't able to get a res, it didn't look like, or It actually did get the res on the Thief, excuse me. That was coming out from the blue team, and Marvin was taken out in that fight. So, and then the Swanniers taken by the red team, easily ending this game and sealing that 1-0 victory for them. Pretty solid win for the red team there. They seem to dominate most of the team fights. I don't think they have anything to be too worried about on Legacy unless the blue team is able to make some good adjustments for it.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the game was just getting like kind of picked off at the nodes and not regrouping before pushing into a team fight. So you team fight with lower numbers, and that's just not a good idea. I think blue team really needs to like kind of refocus their efforts on regrouping and then pushing for that team fight and not trying to get picked off out of the nodes.
Yeah, definitely true. Felt like the blue team, they might have had a good regroup or two, but it didn't feel like a full team regroup. I didn't see a full, I saw mine after they hesitated at the mid node for a while. They finally pushed over there, but I think it was a little too late at the point. I think if they wipe again, they just need to, wait on their team members or use their Thief to get some decaps when the red team's not paying attention and make good use of it, because I didn't see a whole lot of decaps coming out from the blue team that time either.
All right. Yeah. Well, we're going to see if the blue team can change it up in this map. But again, like this Legacy is really known for like having teams snowball the other team. So if the blue team does get caught position like they did in the last game, like this is gonna hurt them a lot more on this map than the other maps.
Yeah, it's definitely so. Just waiting on the teams to join up here. It seems as if a couple members didn't make it through to this next map. I mean, any predictions? Do you think the red team, like last time you predicted the blue team with the better comp, they were going to win it, but
yeah.
It didn't seem to go that way. Do you think they're able to turn it around this game?
Well, it really, again, like I said, it really depends on if they can kind of refocus their efforts on just regrouping, not getting caught out of position. I don't know. I'm kind of a little bit favored towards blue team because Curry's on it. Curry's my boy, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely so. So we have one more member to join up onto this team here. I mean, I like there are a few of the blue team members that are notable, and like you said, their team comp is pretty solid. But even with AK running his very odd Condi build, which honestly I didn't see it do a whole lot. Perhaps it did. We didn't have too many good looks at him, but I mean they seem to take that pretty well.
Seems to be build really reliant on interruptions. If he's running distracting strike, and a lot of his skills have to do with knocking down your opponent or just fearing your opponent. Getting those interrupts. It's definitely a confusion-centered build.
That's definitely true. Just waiting on Marvin to come on to the blue team and join up here so we can go ahead and get this second game going. Just a few reminders to those of you just now joining us. We have 2 gem code giveaways tonight, 800 gems each. Those will be given away during the middle of the stream and at the end of the stream. So be sure to stick around for that. You must be following the stream, so if you don't happen to be following right now, go ahead and hit follow, and you will find out the details on how to enter into that giveaway later on during the stream.
I'm co-casting, but am I still eligible for these gem codes?
I would rather say no. You are not eligible for these gem codes. Good question, though.
Like blue team's already up. Just waiting on red team.
Yeah, just a few members of the red team here. We've got a few other good games going around the bracket. If anybody's interested in seeing the brackets, go ahead and type !brackets into the Twitch chat, and Nightbot will be nice to you and go ahead and give those to you. But if you spam, Nightbot will be mean to you. And
blue team actually made a composition change. They're now bringing in the Diggums.
The Diggums. So Marvin.
Scepter focus Ellie.
He's playing his Condi build. He's playing his Scepter focus Condi build with Carrion Amulet, Runes of the Balthazar, and his traits are going to be 40640. Quadruple Signet build too. So I've seen him on this. I've played against him on this. It's going to be very interesting to see how this goes against the red team. But taking a look at the opening splits here, each team has 2 going to their home just to secure it. We got 1 crosser for the blue team. Secretary Blake's over there, kind of just seeing what the red team's bringing it. And we do have 2 crosses for the red team making their way to the waterfall. So Elementalist for the bled teams just kind of alone at the midpoint here. Feisty Girl should be able to hang on. He was doing very well against 1v2s in the last game here, but we got a 2v3 going on here.
Red
We do have
team
Zoe
by capture point.
and who's this? We have the
Just
other
like
Elementals,
that,
Will Smith
blue
over
team
here
takes a capture point.
for the red team. But they do end up giving the cap onto the waterfall node. We got one cap in each team's favor here, and the decap at the mid node, of course.
It's going to be really dependent on blue team can win this team fight at their home node. And if blue team can just hold on against the opposing red team, it seems like they're doing a really good job though with Finet taking a lot of damage, but Will Smith far node goes down. So it seems like blue team will secure this point, and if they secure this point, they can push into mid with much bigger numbers and take the mid fight as well. Red team at this point should really play cautious, trying to play as defensive as possible in the mid node.
Yeah, that's definitely true. We saw a nice team or a couple of people being wiped from the red team over at the waterfall. Will Smith putting a lot of burst out there for the blue team, or for his team, but eventually he's taken down by the more well-balanced team of the blue team. I think Marvin switching to the Elementalist there was, a positive thing for his team, seeing as they were able to win that home node for the team and get solid ground on this first home node cap for them. Feisty Girl going into the downstate here for the red team. A couple of the blue team members getting low, but not going to be too scared about it. And then we got the decap coming out for the blue team earlier onto the Quarry node, but red team's having to spend 15 seconds there getting that full cap, so they're going to be at a disadvantage at the mid node. But we do have the Thief in the downstate here. Does get war bannered here. Zoe going into the downstate, so blue team could definitely get a solid hold onto this game if they're able to wipe the red team here.
Yeah, this mid fight is going to be really critical, and it seems like red team is sort of taking this battle here. Blue team, their Mesmer and their Warrior have gone down. At this point, red team should definitely try to regroup with their home node or try to get decaps, as we already see their Elementalist is going in at the waterfall node. Tapping that, buying the red team a bit more time to regroup and just push for another team fight.
Yeah, if they're able to get that full cap over there, that won't be too good for the blue team. I mean, a couple of the blue team members are dead. We got the Mesmer and Finite here over here. It did just get stomped. Curie going in and down, or fully dying there too. So the red team, what we thought looked like a one fight for the blue team, ended up turning up, to be a full team wipe for the blue team and a 3 cap going in favor of the red team. So this is not looking good for blue at all.
Yeah, the blue team was able to score that decap, but at the same time, like red team is already kind of regrouped and have secured their far mid node and actually all nodes. I don't really know what I think blue team should try to push for 1 point. It seems like the Thief is getting caught out position with the Zoe there.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the blue team's thinking right here. They're sending the Elementalist to mid against a Warrior. That's not going to happen anytime soon. And we got the Thief and a Thief, trying to take down the other Thief, but last we saw that didn't work out too well for him. I think they should do a full team regroup here at the waterfall node and try to win a team fight like we thought they had at the mid node originally, and it somehow turned out to be the red team winning, which is very interesting and getting that 3 cap. They've already got a 100-point lead here. We do have the Thief going to the quarry node, getting that decap for free, no contention whatsoever, but it's going to buy him a little time for his team, but I don't think it's going to be worthwhile in the sense that they could win a team fight at waterfall if he were there.
It's going to be really hard for blue team to come back from, especially with Legacy and just with the proximity of the nodes. And they're still not even winning these fights, even while they're regrouped. I don't really not sure what they can do at this point, but they have captured the quarry node with their Thief, and it seems like they're trying to, maybe the Thief is trying to delay some time with the Warrior, but again, they're losing the Falls node.
Yeah, and we do have the red team taking that quarry node, of course, but the blue team easily cleaning up easily losing the waterfall node, that is. Red team didn't seem to have any issues whatsoever here at waterfall. I mean, they're just kind of almost like spawn camping them over at this waterfall gate. I mean, the blue team not able to actually do a whole lot. They can obviously just go right back into their base, but it didn't seem as if they've been doing a whole lot there. Do have a team fight brewing at the midpoint. The Thief and the Warrior for the blue team. Not going to be in their favor. There are 4 red members around this node, so they better get out of here if they want to try and take a team fight and possibly win the game, but it's not looking too good for them right now.
Red team's scoring another decap. Blue team really letting their home node, again, the nodes they have at least, getting decapped by the red team. I don't know, blue team just seems kind of, they're kind of all over the map right now. Seem to be have a firm grasp on any certain node. They're trying to take back falls, but it's going to take them a little while to win this point, but it seems like they are finally getting a grasp on this node.
Yeah, definitely true. The blue team might be able to take the waterfall node. and push into the mid node, but it might be a little too late. They are down 200 points here, and we do have Swaglord just kind of sitting around here, so, you know, saving up some time. He has some cooldowns. He's not going to die anytime soon against, you know, just Diggums himself going against the Shoutbow. That could be a while, and he could even possibly lose the fight eventually. So I think the blue team bailed this waterfall node a little too early. They needed to just kill him and, you know, clear this up. We do have the Mesmer making his way back here. It looks, no, he's just trying to regain some health there. So the blue team pushing to the mid node. Got the decap on the quarry, but the red team easily taking that back without any contestation. So blue team, you know, they're a little spread out here, I think.
I mean, like, they're not finishing off fights. They're just kind of leaving fights kind of like neutral, kind of like they left a warrior against Diggums. But they're just not finishing fights, even though like they were like had numbers to manage for quite some time.
Yeah, and the red team just capped the waterfall too. Like, they thought that was a one fight. They bailed out. They thought, you know, that Diggums could handle that, but he just gave up the node. The invuln, obviously, with his scepter focused build, is going to allow for them to get a few ticks on it. But, you know, and just looking at the health pools, he's not doing too well. I mean, it's relatively even, but that's definitely going to favor the warrior in the end with all the heals that he has. Blue team trying to make ground on the mid node. They do get the decap. They killed Feisty Girl about 30 seconds ago, but obviously they weren't able to finish it off because he's back into the fight here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think red team kind of has this in the bag at this point. They have a lot of their bunkier members on red team, but actually AK goes down at mid.
Ooh, so does Finite. Get bursted
Finite
down by Will Smith and Zoe there. See if they're getting the stomp before the... Yep, they get the stomp. AK rallied off of that, so that's not too good for the blue team. I mean, Diggum's still in that 1v1 against Swaglord over on Waterfall, so they're not able to... You know, that was a one fight minutes ago, and they still haven't done anything about it. It's kind of disappointing to see that. You'd think they'd at least send somebody back, make use of the portal with the Mesmer. I haven't seen the portal actually been used once this game. Perhaps it has, but haven't been making the best use of it as far as I'm aware here. And we do have Blix going into the downstate here. Possibly the Mesmer as well, getting trained down super hard by Will Smith here and AK, and they take him down. So blue team, nearly a full team wipe as we have Diggums finally dying at this waterfall as well. So this could possibly be game.
I think it was game.
Yes, it's more than likely game. 460 to 104.
Red team got a capture
Red team with the near 3 cap here. So looks like the Swaglords are going to be taking this game number 2 and be advancing to the next round of this tournament. Where we have 9 teams. I believe 3 games or 4 games are about done now. So be moving into another second round matchup, if I'm not mistaken, up next. There we have it, folks. We have Swaglords taking out Mango Tango 501 to 104. Clean 2-0 sweep for them. Not too difficult, it seemed like. It felt like the red team had that under wraps from the beginning. I saw some sparks of hope for the blue team at the beginning. You know, they won a few fights. They won the team fight, but they bailed. They just left the fights unfinished. I mean, do you have anything else to say about that?
No, I think that's pretty much it. Just leaving fights unfinished, not really committing to a node, and just getting picked out of the points was, I think, led to blue team's downfall.
That's definitely true. Up next, we've got another matchup coming your way, guys. We're going to go on a quick break, so stay tuned with us, and we'll be back in a bit.
Stand, we will fight, it's not over till it's over. as I fell to the ocean floor, fading light through an open door. I saw myself rise with the water. They thought they could keep me down, hold that breath and watch me drown, but all they did was push me higher. We don't care what they say, we will be here all day. We'll stay until it's over, till the world's out of sight. We will stand, we will fight. It's not over till it's over. Through the nights in the rain, through the time and the pain, the stand will never fall. And then at the end of it all, we will win, we will chant. It's not over till it's over.
Welcome back to the Academy Gaming Weekly number 10, folks. I'm your host, Storm, and I'm joined by Aerox tonight. We've got another matchup coming your way. We've got the team we just saw, Swaglords, going up against Seraphs of Fortuna, which is a pretty well-known team in this tournament and other tournaments alike, judging upon what they run. It should be a very interesting match. We're going to go ahead and get started with that right away here. Go ahead and take a look at the Seraphs of Fortuna's builds over here on the blue team. We've got Lux, who's going to be running his pretty notorious build. He runs DP with short bow. He's going to be running Runes of the Scholar Runes and Berserker Amulet. He's going to be running 26006 with Thieves Guild, and he's of course got his smoke screen. He always takes that. Nothing new for him there. Next we've got Big Panthera here for the blue team. He's going to be playing Guardian. He's got the Scepter Focus, great sword, so he's going to be playing DPS build here with Runes of the Pack and Berserker Amulet. He's going to be playing 01616 with obviously the triple medi in the utility here. Next we've got Jazzy Turrets, who is going to be the turret engineer for the blue team. He's going to be running Sentinel's Amulet with the rifle. He's got Runes of the Melandru and Sigil of Ice and Energy, and his traits are going to be 20660, and obviously he's got the triple turrets here with the throw mine, or excuse me, 2 turrets with throw mine. He's got the rocket turret, and he's got the thumper turret, the best one of them all. Next, finally, we've got Drunk Possum here, who's going to be playing Shout Bow. Nothing spectacular about his build here. He's going to be running 00464, though, instead of the 10463, so he's not going to have that extra damage on the dodge rolls here. We are waiting for the 5th member of their team to go ahead and join the team here. If you want to go ahead and take us away on the red team's builds really quick, Aerox.
All right, so I'll go over AK's first. I think AK has quite a unique spec. He's running something reminiscent of Condi Warrior with the Rabbit Amulet and the Rune of the Nightmare. If you look over to AK's traits, you see that he's running Distracting Strikes. And I was telling Mila a story about this before, but a lot of his utilities and a lot of his skills that do with interrupting the whoever he's attacking. And when he ever interrupts somebody, he gets that 4 stacks of confusion on that person. So it's really like a confusion-heavy condition build. On to Sway Lord Sassy, running what seems to be a kind of regular Shout Bow with a Celestial Amulet and Soldier, running a 10463. I don't really know, I'm not really familiar with the Warrior Celestial Shout Bow build, but I think that's close enough. With Schnicky, we have his classic Scepter Focus Zerker Ellie, running with Fresh Air, 06044. It seems like, I think this is the exact same build he ran last time.
Yeah, it is.
And then Zoe's running with the Dagger Pistol Panic Strike with a Zerker Amulet and Brew of the Pack. This is kind of like classic Dagger Pistol. One notable difference is the definitely Blinding Powder over an Infiltrator Signet. And just waiting on red. One more
blue team.
red team.
We did manage to miss one of the blue teams as they were not on the team. We're going to take a quick look at him here. He is playing Shout Bow as well, so we've got 2 Shout Bows here. Drunk Possum running Shout Bow, and Warmonger here running Shout Bow as well. He is playing 00464 as well, so double Shout Bow, Turret NG, DPS Guard, and Lux on his interesting Thief build. Nothing too interesting with the traits, but I think it's very interesting. Obviously, he takes the Thieves Guild and the Blinding Smoke Screen, not Blinding Powder. So it's a little bit of a different build for the most part. We are just waiting on one member of the red team to go ahead and join up here.
And actually, Schnicky changed classes onto his Engineer.
Oh yeah, he did.
He's running a classic, definitely a Celestial Engineer with Rune of the Hullbrack. Yeah, he's changing them right now. He seems to be running with Elixir Gun instead of the usual Slick Shoes. This is more of a 1v1 oriented build because the Elixir Gun gives you a lot more sustain especially in those 1v1 fights. We're still waiting on one member of red team to show up.
I believe he's in the arena, Feisty Girl here. We did see his build earlier in the last game. He was running Dagger Elementalist for that team, so there's nothing too special there. I mean, we saw these guys just play in the last series. They did very well. They pretty coordinated for the most part, but the other team, granted, they didn't seem to win too many fights. We saw some sparks of hope on the Legacy of the Foe Fire, but we're gonna have to. I think the blue team here, Seraphs, is gonna put up a bigger fight for the most part.
I'm just kind of like I thought occurred to myself like, what if Rune Perplexity existed in PvP and you ran AK's build? It would just be like AIDS.
That's definitely true here. Just waiting on Feisty Girl to go ahead. Apparently he's having some lag issues here. Do you have any predictions on who's going to take this game? I mean, we've seen last week the Seraphs, they did get second place, taking the Dream to a 2-1 game on Kylo. So they're a very good team for the most part. I mean, they have some different builds, which makes them a little bit harder to deal with if you don't know what to do exactly. So I think they're going to give the red team for a run for their money, and I think they're probably going to take them out, but this might go to a game 3. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, definitely. I think really, I'm kind of not in favor of blue team is here as well. We'll see, because a lot of these are kind of like notable. It's a notable team. All the players have been playing for a long time, and the Thief Mediguard combo is actually becoming more popular in North America, and it does really well against a lot of the kind of 2 burstier comps that other teams have trying to push out, like Mesmer Thief or like Scepter Focus Ellie Thief. I think that would really have a lot of synergy with the kind of two bunker warriors and a turret engineer.
Well, there we have the Elementalist finally joining up here. So let's just take a quick look at his build. He is running Dagger with Runes of Battle Sigil of Battle and Sigil of Doom, and he's got 00266 obviously. So nothing too special there. We're just waiting on the teams to ready up. We did have some lag issues. I believe Feisty Girl is from Europe, so not going to be having the best of connection. You know, he did hold his own the last game, though. He did pretty well.
Yeah.
Was able to hold some 1v2s in the last series, so pretty solid elementalist for what we've seen so far here.
Yeah, I've actually was pretty impressed with Feisty Girl during the last set. Feisty Girl was able to take a lot of those like 1v2s, 1v3s, and were able to hold that point for quite some time.
That's definitely true. And there we have it. Teams readying up here. This is a semifinals match.
The match starts
The winner
soon.
will be moving on to the finals and be guaranteed at least 800 gems for second place. Per person, that is. Just taking a look at the opening splits here. We do have 3 members of the blue team stealthing up here at the gate, going to be making a push across the beach. No one for the red team, though. Just like we saw in the last series, they didn't make a push for it. Yeah, it doesn't look like Lux is going to actually make a push for the node. Jazzy Turrets playing the turret NG is probably going to be pushing for that 3rd node so they can hold that contested for quite some time. Let's take a look at what he's going to be going up against here. He's got AK behind him, trying to hold him off, trying to get that full cap. We've got a bit of a skirmish going on here as well between the nodes. We have a lot of damage coming out from the Guardian there. So blue team taking their home node. Red team did manage to take their home node, though, before the turret NG was actually able to get on the point. So they're going to 1v2 that, where they're leaving their team to 3v4 at the mid node. As long as Drunk Possum makes a push for it. Doesn't look like he's going to make a push for it, so at this mid node, we just got a 3v3 going on right now.
Yeah, seems like Drunk Possum's kind of inching towards mid, but kind of unsure whether he should go in. He's not really sure exactly whether the red team might go for a potential decap. But Lux is getting really low, and Jazzy Turrets goes down actually at the mine node, giving red team that giving my security of that home node.
Yeah, red team doing an excellent job of handling that turret NG. A lot of teams have difficult times with it. Obviously, they only have one of them here now. A lot of pressure coming out onto Zoe here. As he was trying to take down Lux a little bit ago, he wasn't able to get out of this point fairly easily. Looks like he might just kind of reset here, wait for his team to actually need his help at the mid node, because they're doing just fine. Near full health pools for all of their team members aside from Zoe here, so not a whole lot of damage coming out from either team here. AK was getting super low here, that DPS Guardian putting out a lot of damage onto him. They do take him down here below the keep, not a good place for him to go down. Swaglord bringing out the banner, will it be in time? He does get the banner off. Good play there and communication from the red team. They do have one. Warmonger Noda is down on the midpoint. We got 2 members of the red team here, so they are going to take this small advantage here. Some down bodies going on between the points over here as well. Lux in the downstate. Jazzy Turrets trying to get that res. A lot of cleave coming out from Zoe and company here. Looked like they were about to get the res, but they didn't manage to get it off. Fortified turrets coming out as well with that healing turret. Wasn't able to make... Oh, Jazzy Turrets getting super low as well. So good cleave coming out from Zoe and the warrior there. Not allowing that res going off to Lux there, and able to take out Jazzy Turrets. So good place from the red team thus far.
Yeah, definitely red team having a good grasp on this current match. I wonder though if blue team, when they were respawning, they could have went for far node instead, because they knew that 5 of their members in red team were at the center of the mid node. They could have just secured their home node and their side nodes and went from there. Yeah,
Warmonger Noda, good rotation right off the start there, able to get that decap, so the red team isn't going to have a 3 cap here, because they did take the henge. They are going to be taking the mid node. And Warmonger Noda not in a good position. He's in a 1v2 here. He should be able to hold it for a little bit, but Zoe's going to be putting out a lot of damage onto him. Let's take a quick look at the henge. We got a 1v1 going on. Jazzy Turrets against Swaglord. He's going to be able to get that decap fairly easily, so that won't be in the red team's contention for too long. There we go. There's the decap. And the Thief, Lux, going right behind AK. They're getting that decap possibly. AK's not going to be able to get on the node. Good decap from the blue team there. Both on the henge node and on the mid node, but at the mine, the 2v1 did come out. They were able to take down Warmonger Noda, so this is looking a little bit better for the blue team. They're not too far behind, only about 60 points here, so they can definitely come back into this game if they win a couple of team fights here.
Yeah, though they really need to secure their home node, because the red team's up points. Just going to keep taking them away and giving them points. We're going to have a 2v2 at mid with Warrior Thief against what seems to be the Warrior Thief as well. It's going to be quite a stalled fight. And then you have the red team Elementalist going to support the mid node. And this, I don't know, like, it seems still like, I don't know, it's kind of like, I don't really know who's kind of the upper edge here. Blue team's kind of winning their home node. Red team seems to be winning mid.
Yeah, the blue team was winning their home, though. They were able to take down Schnicky there, the engineer. The Reds kind of coming out from Feisty. They do get the stomp onto him, though, as Feisty did rotate into this fight. The blue team +1 with this with Panthera, so they should be able to take this node fairly quickly. We got a 2v2 going on at the mid node, too, where we got AK, who is Vengeance right now, so he's going to be going down fairly soon here as Banner, in case his team member goes down. Banner coming out from Drunk Possum, able to get Lux up. AK is not going to be useful for too much longer, but Zoe's getting super low, too, so the blue team definitely could take this mid node and definitely come back into this game as Zoe. But Zoe able to take down Lux super quick there. Reinforcements come from the blue team, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. They could take him down. He does get taken down fully, so there we have it. Lux going full dead there, and red team back in this fight at the mid node here.
Yeah, it seems like they're getting a better grasp on the kind of map control. We see like AK going into far node, going to the my node, trying to get that decap against. Probably not a good idea against that turn engineer. He probably should back out and support his team, the team in mid. But even at mid, the red team isn't looking so hot with their thief.
I mean, they got the cap. Zoe's down, and they've got an engineer and a dagger LA there, so that's not going to be too much of a worry for them anytime soon. It is still a 2v2. We do have the other warrior for the red team. Looked like he might have been trying to push or just get away from that fight. So red team's got a solid hold on the mid node. They don't have their home node, so they're taking up points here. They have over 100-point lead. Nothing to worry about too much here, as long as they can hold on to the mid node and secure this for a little bit longer.
Yeah, we kind of see Drunk Possum kind of just like kind of like going between the nodes. I'm not sure whether to engage in this fight, but if you look at the minimap, like you can probably see that Thief is actually going to far point. Well, Jazzy Turd should notice that, so they should be able to. Yeah, he's engaging at mid right now, just having a 3v3, I believe, in mid. And it's going to be kind of a long fight with lots of bunkier members.
And we did have a banner coming out at the mid node, but let's take a look at the mine where we do have AK and Zoe going up against Jazzy Turrets. Jazzy Turrets he did go into Elixir S there, but he might go down. Doesn't have his heal up for another 15 seconds. He's definitely going to die there, yes. AK and Zoe taking down Jazzy Turrets. Going to be taking this node for their team, but they are dying at the mid node. Swag Lord's down, Feisty Lord's down, and only Aniqua here is left. He's going to bail off of here and go to the henge, but Lux is hot in pursuit. I don't think he's going to get this decap. He's not faster than a thief. There's no way this decap's coming off. So the blue team going to be taking the 2 cap here, and red team finally reclaiming their home, but at the cost of the midpoint.
Yeah, it seems like blue team's getting a good grasp on their home and mid node. Definitely the thief shouldn't be 1v1ing. It looks like it does have some support from Drunk Possum. And the engineer of red team, Enrica, is probably going to bail out of that, regroup his teammates, and try to push for a node together.
Yeah, definitely true. It looks like the red team's a little spread out here. We got one member behind the keep. Aniqua's trying to just kind of sit around there, possibly make a push for the henge once they're not suspecting it, but we do have Swaglord making a push for the henge as well. And Jazzy Turrets is just going to go straight through the breach. We have AK just kind of sitting over there. I'm probably going to easily see that, so nothing too strong coming out there for the blue team at the mine node. Even though they're pushing for 3 points, they're definitely going to get back into this game. Only down 90 here with this 2 cap. If they're able to soak this up for a little bit, they should easily be able to get back into this game. So this is definitely not a lost game for the Seraphs as of yet.
Yeah, with red team actually getting that decap at mid, and it seems like Lux Fortune with Zoe is going to get the decap on the henge node. It seems like red team should be in a good foothold if they can just hold on to this mid node against the other members of the blue team. And it seems like they probably will be able to do that with all their bunkier members at mid. And they are winning
Wow. AK right basically 100-0ing Jazzy Turrets over there with that Condi build. Whoa. The Condi build absolutely annihilating the turret NG there. That is a big surprise. So they're going to be taking back that mine node. They did get the henge here. Decap possibly coming out from Lux. Nope. Not able to get it. Zoe's right there in time. So we do have Lux popping the Thieves Guild, though. Zoe's just kind of going to bail away from this and let them have that node. Probably going to be pushing into the mid node, but we do have a team fight still going on. Warmonger node are getting super low. Forced bail out of this point. Red team finally taking that mine node and possibly look for a 2 cap here if they're able to get this mid node here.
Yeah, and the warrior of Swaglord Sassy is going to be +1 by their thief, I believe, or no, the engineer. And it seems like the blue team's going to gain control of their home node. At the mid node, we see that seems to be red team should be getting a hold of this point. Drunk Possum getting really low here, probably going to go down to Zoe. And it seems kind of like the entire map situation at this point is kind of it's not really in favor of red, not really in favor of blue. It seems kind of a stalemate.
Definitely true. We do have the blue team still holding contention on the mine. Once again, they're down about 95 points here. AK getting super low. Panthera putting a lot of damage out onto him, not able to clear, avoid a lot of it. It does go into the downstate here. We do have a 2v1 going on. Might see a res coming out before Panthera gets that stomp. We're going to have to take a look here. Over the stomp, gets interrupted. The res comes out there. Or, no, excuse me, AK did Vengeance. So, AK and Vengeance right now trying to chase after Panthera. Panthera trying to get out of this alive. AK's Vengeance is down in 2 seconds, so he's definitely going to get up from this. Yeah. Not so sure on that Vengeance move from AK as Panthera, he survived that. Warmonger Noda Vengeance as well. Not quite sure what the purpose of that's. Bit of a waste of time for their team. Red team claiming the 2-cap with the mid node and the mine, so definitely able to build off this, possibly get back up to their 100-point lead here.
Yeah, it seemed like at first it was like kind of a stalemate, but a lot of the blue team members were kind of going down. But it seems like they're going. Oh, okay, so they're Red Team Warrior and Big Panthera are going to go in the downstate, and Zoe getting a nice swag stomp with the Shadow Step. But it's like the Warrior gets bannered. It seems kind of just it's not really. It's kind of again like kind of a stalemate.
Yeah, I mean, but look, we have Drunk Possum on the mine node getting the full cap. They're going to take sides. They've got a decap mid node. Jazzy Turret's, he's able to sit there a little bit. Nah, he doesn't have any. He doesn't have no cooldown, so he does go down. Red team going to be taking the mid node eventually here. But this is definitely a turning point. If the blue team wants to get back into the game, they have to do it right now. Otherwise, they're going to lose it. It's too close. Only 125 points away from victory for the red team. I feel like they have the better opportunity to take Svanir and Chieftain with Zoe being so good at Thief. I'm just, it could definitely go either way. Obviously, Lux has Thief skills, so able to take that out, and they have the DPS Guardian. So I think this will come down to the wire with a Chieftain or Svanir kill.
Yeah, I was kind of questioning Lux Fortuna's rotations here, going to far node. They should have just kept the 2v2 going at far node, have Lux going to mid, supporting their warrior, and trying to keep the 2 points they have. But he goes to mid node, sees that there's an engineer there. It's going to go back to the mine node, trying to clean up that 2v2 quickly. But at the same time, they're losing the henge node, and red team's going to get a good grasp of both the henge node and the mid node.
Yeah, definitely true. They did lose the cap on the henge. They're still down about 65 points here, and red team is going to be plussing this fight at the henge. It's obviously Jazzy Turris. He can stay alive and hold his own for a little bit, but it's Zoe there and Swaglord, and as many times before, they've taken him out pretty quickly. We do have Warmonger supporting him there, so that's going to help them a lot. I'm not so sure what the blue team's next move is going to be. Oh, they're going to be pushing behind Keep to the mid node instead of pushing for that easy Svanir kill, as red team is no one even in the area here. They need the 2-cap though.
I do like this rotation, keeping the turn engineer busy with the 1v2. It seems like red team's trying to kill it to mid, and having the burstier members of blue team trying to take out whoever's at mid quickly enough to cap that node in their favor.
That is definitely true. We have Lux getting focused down there by Zoe. And red team really needs to hold on to this point if they want to hold this game. I mean, this could definitely go to the Seraph's favor if they're able to play this correctly. If they're able to hold the decap on henge, get the full cap with that decap edge there. We do have Lux going to the downstate. That is not good for them whatsoever. If they wanted to get this decap at the mid node, which they don't need. They do not need the decap here. If they're able to just bail out of this or hold a few members here for the time being, they can win the henge node and get a Swanir or Chieftain kill and definitely take this game. Blue team taking the henge node. So this is exactly what they need. They're going to have to get some kills on the side bosses here to win this game for sure if they don't get that decap on the mid node.
Yeah, definitely going. Blue team should definitely focus on trying to get the boss at this point. And we already see Warmonger Noda going for that Swanir. And the blue team seems to be defending the henge node.
Yeah, if they're able to get both of them, they will win this game. If they're able to get both of them. We do have Svanir at about 50% health. No one in the red team even in the area, so that's going to be a free kill as long as he doesn't die here. They're making a push for Chieftain here. Panthera's here. Swaglord's here. They need Zoe here for the red team if they want to take this. Panthera and Lux are definitely going to take this over a Warrior. This is going to be game. Whoever takes this, blue team takes it. Still have the cap on the mine node. Able to take this game. What an ending. You thought the red team had this. I thought the red team had this, but the blue team, like I was saying all game long, definitely able to come back into this game with those 2 kills on the side bosses. Zoe wasn't in the right area there. He was on the henge node trying to take that node. I don't think he was aware that his team, the other team was actually on the Chieftain right there. He really needed that to get back in. If they didn't get that they lost the game like you just saw. But if they would have gotten it, if Zoe was there to steal it, it's not a guaranteed steal. Obviously, there was a DPS Guardian. Obviously, Lux was on the other team, so that could have went either way, but still would have given them a much better chance at killing it rather than a warrior there. So game number 1, going to Seraphs there. What a victory. What an ending.
I mean, a big part of competitive PvP, especially when you're in the higher levels, it's not just focused on you trying to execute your strats and going around the map, trying to take out and doing what you want to do. It's also considering what the other team is also trying to do and seeing what they need to accomplish that. And by kind of coordinating your own strategy to adapt to the other team strategy, that's a huge part of high tier competitive play. And if red team was able to know that blue team just needed 2 bosses to hold the side cast, they could have reacted maybe a bit sooner with having Zoe at one of the bosses, ready to steal one of the bosses, and preventing the blue team victory.
That's definitely true. I mean, I think the red team can take this. We saw them. They had the advantage nearly the entire game. Blue team just had the plays at the end and were able to take both of those. But a signature move for this Seraphs of Fortuna team is the Lord here. Obviously, the extra second, the added 50 points at the end won the game for the blue team. We could definitely see the 150 points winning it for them again on this map. We know that Lux likes to go for the side gate super early, take it down, and mess with you all game long. Has so much access to stealth that he will just stealth up in the base, run away, toy with you, take down a few NPCs, make you think he's here, but he's not, and then he'll just come back in a little bit. He plays around with it all game long. He does an excellent job at it, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him do that again. We're definitely going to have to look for that, and if the red team allows them to get up to 350 points, I think the blue team will take it because they're going to have all NPCs down by that point. That's just how they do it. So I definitely think the red team can take this if they don't allow the blue team to get to 350 points.
I'm trying to think of what it just seemed like it kind of relied on that secondary factor mechanic. I'm just trying to think of a strategy that blue team could execute that could maybe give them a maybe more better hold of the points themselves. I'm thinking that probably have they should play a 3-point strat with their turn engineer going in, kind of trolling far point and having them just rotate around the two nodes. And after the turn engineer is trolled far enough, should go back to the 2 nodes and have the thief just constantly decap far point. Again, this is kind of the same strat that I think red team should also perform with their comp. Both teams are playing a very 3-point heavy comp, and having a Swag Lord Sassy going to far point, trolling that point for as long as possible, having win the team fight at home mid, and then having the thief just constantly decapping the far node. I think both teams should be looking out for.
Yeah, it's definitely true. And AK still sticking on this build. We do have Warmonger Noda going to be moving to a Ranger build instead of the second Xiaopo there. So he's going to be playing Power Ranger, it looks like. He's got the Longbow Greatsword. He's got Sigil of Air and Fire on the Longbow there, and he's got Air and Intelligence on the Greatsword with Scholar Runes and Zerker Amulet. He's going to be playing 66020 with the Quickening Zephyr, Double Signet, and Rampage is 1 there. It's a little bit interesting. I want to point out most Power Rangers don't take a Rampage with 1 anymore. They take the other elite that's going to allow them to lock people down and get away from them. Rampage is 1 isn't necessarily a bad thing to take. I know it's what Urantian used to run, but I think he felt that the other elite was a little bit better so he could stay alive. Rampage, I just think it's, survivability-wise, it's better, but Rampage's 1 is going to allow you to put out a little bit more damage and be a little bit more mobile, so we're going to have to see how that works out for him.
And at the same time, though, David's a very experienced Ranger. He's been playing Ranger for a long time. He's been playing this game for a long time, and his main is Ranger. Let's see if that can make the difference in this matchup.
That's definitely true. I do want to point out he's got 2 Nature Magic. It's going to give him power based upon his Vitality. I've seen a lot of Rangers take the 2 in Wilderness Survival, so, just for that extra CC on their pet rather than them. It's a little interesting not to see that. I mean, not a whole lot of CC coming out from the red team, aside from, we've got Fear Me, AK's running Fear Me, he's got Kick as well, but I don't think it's anything groundbreaking by any means, so not surprised to see that, give him a little bit more survivability with the 2 in Nature Magic over the 2 in Wilderness Survival. We are starting up here, so we're going to have to go ahead and take a look at some opening splits here. I'm interested to see how the Ranger's going to do for them on this map. Obviously going to give them a lot more damage than a Shoutbow will, so they have to play it a little bit differently this time. Going into this game number 2 of this best of 3 series, the winner here the winner of the series will be going on to the finals to compete for some gems here. We've got 2 members of the red team going to their home node, 2 members of the red team going to the waterfall. So blue team going to be splitting up to the 3 nodes as well, so this should be an interesting opening. They're going to get bursted down. Swaglord over here is going to get destroyed.
He's gonna get annihilated.
Oh, the Fear Me coming out, but didn't do enough. A lot of damage coming out from Lux, Thieves Guild, and Not David there, but the red team finally making their way into this node. A lot of damage coming out onto Not David from Zoe, but so much damage coming onto Zoe from just the Power Ranger itself. Does get res off of Swaglord's death there, so blue team coming out with that cap on the waterfall. Red team wasn't able to contest it because they died so quickly at the mid node. AK's in the downstate. Not David's in the downstate. Does get bannered, though. No banner is going to be coming out for the red team either, as Swaglord just coming off a respawn. Not David going to the downstate as well. This is an interesting team fight coming out right out of the start here.
Yeah, blue team, like, it seems like they were trying to go for the farm node. I think the red team might have saw that. They've seen, like, okay, we should defend our home node, but instead they're actually bursting down the warrior mid, granting them the earlier advantage in the team
Just
fight.
like that, blue team takes a capture
Yeah, it's
point.
definitely true. Blue team taking the mid node as well, so they're going to be starting out with a huge lead at the beginning here. 50 points right now. It's just going to tick until the blue team, or the red team, excuse me, can actually push for the far node, the waterfall, or actually manage to kill some people at the mid node. They have the damage for it, but they just really got to, they have to maintain it. They've got 2 people coming out of the gate right now, and they're not in a good situation at the mid node. They do manage to take down Lux though, so they could make a play off of this if they're able to take him out here. Too much res potential coming out from the blue team there though, as Panthera and Drunk Possum were all over that. So blue team still have a solid hold on this. Going to be starting out with a huge early lead in the beginning of this game.
David was able to snipe out Schnicky, and even at the quarry node, red team is trying to regroup, trying to get that node back, but at the same time of getting that node back, they're kind of giving up mid node, and Zoe's trying to get out, trying to piece out far point, get the decap. It's a very smart decision by Zoe, trying to go play for those side nodes, because mid definitely does seem to be lost for red team, and I think they know that.
Yeah, blue team trying to rotate back to their home. They're going to be bringing 2 members back there, possibly even 3 here. No, it's just going to be 2. A little bit late. They got the decap. Red team really need to focus on the sides here because mid point's not going anywhere anytime soon, in their favor, that is. Zoe is in a 1v1 against Panthera here, who is going to be playing Staff Ellie this game instead of the Scepter focus as we saw the last, or excuse me, he's actually going to be on Staff Ellie. Last game he was on DPS Guardian, so a couple of change-ups there. They do take the waterfall node. Zoe not able to capitalize on that decap there, and red team finally making a team push to the mid node for the first time in this game.
Bit of an over-rotation actually at the core node, having 3 members of red team trying to kill that turn engineer. But it time took that to kill the turn engineer. Blue team is ready to have firm grass at mid, have all their members regrouped. But at the same time, Drunk Possum is going down. I believe it was Not David and the red team.
Yeah, I mean, if Swaglords here want to get back into this game, it is not out of the question. They can take this fight. They can get a decap on the waterfall easily. If Zoe makes a push for it, this is a good time. We do have the turret engine make the push for the quarry, but it is contested by the elementalists, so nothing too much is going to come of that. Red team almost about to take down Not David. That would be huge for them if they're able to take out another member. There he goes in the downstate there. And the red team could definitely take this midpoint and get back into this game. They have the damage for it. They can definitely take him out. But it seems like they allow Not David to res there as Lux was able to get it off. Panthera is about to get stomped, though, going into the mist form there. We could see a res coming out here. We're going to have to see what's available for the blue team. No banner for him. Drunk Possum had already used it. They do not get the stomp. Panthera is able to get up, so that is not looking good for the Swaglords at all. They do get the decap on the waterfall, though, quite easily.
Yeah. It just seems like they're kind of just playing, again, the kind of two-point strat that I had mentioned at the start. With Zoe going over the decaps, trying to win the team fight in mid, secure, kind of keep that turret engineer away from the home node. It seems like having a little bit of difficulty in that, trying to, with 3 members of, just 2 members of the blue team, actually killing out one of the red team members, Schnicky, outside the point.
Yeah, that looks like that midpoint's going to be going in the red team's favor after they take out Panthera, but here at the quarry node, Jazzy Turret's going into downstate. Looks like Lux trying to get that res on him, but so much cleave coming out from Vicey Girl here in Schnicky. They do get the res, though, as AK and Swaglord are going to be making a push for this node, so this is where the team fight's going to levitate towards here. They still have the decap node on the waterfall, so no points taking anybody's favor. The red team should be picking up the mid node anytime soon here, but the big team fights, gravitating from the mid node over here to the core.
Red team will seem to just has a good. Finally, is taking map control. Seem to be winning this fight.
Jazzy Turret's going down. Not David going down. Double ban. The banner coming out from Drunk Possum. Nobody even trying to interrupt him. Able to get both members of his team up. Lux is down though. There we go. Not David going down once again. Jazzy Turrets get spiked down. Red team relentless with the damage here. Take down 2 members. Banner coming out from Drunk Possum. Take down 3 more within only a few seconds. Blue team is going to manage to get their home node back though. Red team going to be reclaiming a 2 cap as long as they allow somebody to get a kill on Jazzy Turrets here before they actually take it. See if they can get on the node. It's not going to be too good. There we go. Red team finally taking the home node back. So they're going to be soaking up a 2 cap here, and I think that's what they need to do. They need to hold the 2 cap and allow Zoe to get decaps when applicable. And Drunk Possum trying to get the decap. Not in time though. Schnicky and Zoe able to get on point just in time. Not allowing for that to happen.
Red team wins a
Yeah,
capture point.
Red team definitely making. I noticed that team fight at Quarry was that Red team had much better focus fire. They were able to coordinate both their Ellie, their Thief, and the Power Ranger. Or no, that's just the the Ellie and the Thief onto the targets. We have a major team fight going on at Waterfall. Not David putting barrage down. Zoe Pistoли trying to take down Not David as to avoid that barrage.
Yeah, we have the turret NG for the blue team. It looks like he's probably going to get the decap on the quarry, but AK is able to manage to get the decap on the waterfall, so nothing lost there. They are still down 100 points. They were down about 200 at one point. They're definitely going to come back into this game if they're able to soak up that mid cap and hold on to that and win another team fight here. Not David getting super low. Doesn't have much left. Does get taken in a down state. Zoe's super low too. Goes in a down state for his team. Drunk Possum and Panthera trying to get the res onto Not David. Do they get it? They do get the res. Zoe able to get out of there. AK gets the banner onto Zoe before that stomp came out. Like once again, Not David about to get taken out over here outside of the node. And he has members of his team there to res him, so nothing to worry about too much. Feels like the red team, they're winning the fights, but so many reses are coming out from the blue team. They're on top of it, and that's what's pulling them down right now. They could definitely have a 100-point lead right now if they were able to mop up some fights and not allow for the reses to happen.
I mean, Jazzy Turrets did a really good job at far node, keeping that 1v2, allowing blue team to have numbers advantage at their node. Even with the numbers advantage, it just seems to be kind of a stalemate of a fight with both blue team and team members going down and getting res.
Did you see that?
That burst coming out from sneaking onto Lux, but Feisty Girl gets taken down. And we'll have to see if he's able to take out Lux again, stealthing up. Drunk Possum's going to be forcing a fight on this mid node. And red team, I think they just need to... It's too late for them to bail out at Waterfall, as all the team members there are dead. AK finally being taken down there. We have Jazzy Turrets making a push for the quarry, but we have the Warrior for the red team on top of that. Not going to allow for that to happen. Schnicky is not able to hold a node very well. So this isn't going to end up too well for him if he has to stay in this fight. I mean, he's got some cooldowns. He's got his blocks. He's got swirling winds for that longbow. But, I mean, he could definitely win the fight. But if he gets +1, he's going to die almost instantly.
Yeah, blue team actually has a really good position to engage in a team fight at mid. A lot of red team members are down. You see people will be getting this point, but actually the banner goes off. And I really rate Fear Me by Swaggle or Sassy, preventing any interest coming from the blue team.
Yeah, blue team did get that decap as Schnicky was forced to use it to invuln there with the Earth 5 on that focus, which, you know, puts him at a disadvantage here at the team fight. I mean, look at the score. We saw a near 200-point lead for the blue team. Now they're only down to about 40 points. They almost have the mid node just a few ticks away. We're going to have to see if they can take that. Swaggler able to get on the point. He needs reinforcements fast, otherwise the blue team's going to regain their lead. I'm surprised, though. We haven't seen the gate being taken down by Lux yet. He hasn't been over there yet, so it's very interesting to see that not happen, because by this time he usually has 3 or 4 NPCs dead in the red team's base. So very interesting to see that.
Very back and forth game here. Swaggle Sassy getting that res off. Blue team's members kind of peeling out the point a little bit too early there. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that neither the red team or blue team's thieves have actually gone for the gate. It's a very back and forth game, very stalemated match. You think that the Lord would be of interest in both
there we go. There we have it, guys. There we have it. Lux already. There is his push for the gate. Oh, the gate is dead. It was basically 1 tick away from dying there. So Lux going to be pushing into the Lord there. Going to have to keep tabs on what he does. He's going to be slowly taking down some NPCs, and I think they're eventually, once they hit 350, I think they're making an all-out push for the Lord.
But they
no doubt.
Won't be able to go to get 350 because Zoe's looks like he's going to get the decap at blue team's node.
Good rotation there. Excellent rotation from Zoe.
Buy red team a bit more time here. And blue team at this point should really play defensive, but it seems like they're still winning the fights nevertheless.
Yeah, we did have Lux already taken down 2 of the casters there, 2 of the NPCs, but we do have the warrior Swag Lord there to reinforce him, give some heals to the Lord and NPCs. Blue team does take the midpoint, so they are going to get 350 here despite the decap from Zoe on the waterfall node. Zoe in a little bit of trouble, gets taken down super quickly there by Not David, able to take him out of that fight. Red team pointless right now and on their heels. You know, they're almost getting towards that 100-point deficit that we saw earlier. They were on their heels at the start of the game, able to force their way back into the game, but being pushed back once again here, not able to actually win any of these skirmishes. I feel they need to get into a team fight because they've been winning the team fights. That's how we saw them get back into the game, not winning skirmishes, and that's what we've seen from the red team in the past few minutes here.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that actually red team actually made a really good call of just sending one of their warriors back to defend the Lord, because they only knew that one of the thieves was there, and it was just a lot of kind of just small skirmishes. I mean, win the small skirmishes that kind of gave blue team the lead in this match.
We do have a decap from the red team. Feisty Girl making a good rotation right out of spawn there in that decap. We have a 1v1 going on between Drunk Possum and Shiggy on a decap node. The big team fight still going on over here at the core where we have Swag Lord in a 1v2 situation. AK's with him, but he's getting pretty low here. Has a couple cooldowns up, couple of heals, but other than that, his banner's not up for another minute. He needs to kind of rotate out of this, let AK handle this for a little bit, which he is going to do. AK, of course, still the Condi build, so he's just going to get destroyed there. The full burst coming out from Not David. And we could definitely see a Lord push coming out here from the blue team once they take this quarry. They have 390, nothing to worry about too much. And we have Lux going for the Lord. Not David trying to fend off Zoe while he gets to push to the Lord. I mean, he's still got 2 casters and the Lord obviously left. Red team does take the waterfall. They do 2v1 that. And we have Zoe pushing for the Lord. There we have it. Blue team making their full team push for the Lord. Jazzy Turret sitting on the quarry just as a backup plan if it fails. But I don't think this is going to fail. They have a lot of damage. And Thieves coming out. Thieves go coming out for Lux there. Banner coming out as well. Not exactly sure what that was for. Lux getting taken down super low here. This isn't looking too good for him. Lord's still got about 60 health though. 60% health. Oh, the heals coming out for the red team. A lot of good heals there. Back up to about 80-90% health. And they could definitely come back into this game. We have the door on the waterfall down for the blue team. So we can see a Lord push there from Schnicky as Not David does get stomped here. And Panthera was down.
I feel like we can just call quits at this point and really defend their own Lord because Shicky's actually going for it. And
they don't have 350 though. And they don't have any points. So the blue team successfully pushing for the Lord and backing out, taking the 3 cap. This could definitely be the game right here.
Just like that.
I mean, they got the decap on the quarry. If they're able to hold them off, get this cap, get the extra 10 points, and get to the Lord. Shnicky already taken down 3 NPCs, make it almost 4 here. Could definitely see an interesting ending. Nobody for the blue team's even in the area. Lux making another push for the Lord. He is going to take down this other caster. No one in the red team in the area. Could see a Lord rush from both teams here. Schnicky's got the Lord down to about 80% health here. Lux over here has about to 80% health. I wish there were bars on the side so we could see what was going on at the other Lord. We do have a couple more of the red team members knowing this is the only way they're going to win. They are 2 points away though. 489 for the blue team. I don't think this is going to go too well, that is, for the matter, for Slag Lords. There we have it, folks. Blue team taking the 3 cap at the end, and Saracen Fortuna taking this game in a thrilling finish, 2-0.
Very back and forth game. A lot really coming down to the wire with the Lord rushes. I still felt that blue team really had a good handle on the game, especially specifically in their better team fight potential. A lot of blue team. There were a lot of mistakes on, I think, in my opinion, in both teams and part of the rotations. But in terms of the team fights, blue team always came out superior, and Jazzy Turns was able to keep able to really mess up with the red team's rotations, forcing a lot of 1v2s, 1v3s, and just having a lot of causing the red team not having a good numbers advantage at the other nodes.
Yeah, it's definitely true. I think, the red team, they had their chance to get back into the game. They had, they're coming back from a 175, 200-point deficit. They were only down about 40 points there, and they went to skirmishes, and the skirmishes weren't working out for them. They were losing them. The team fight is where it was, and they ended up letting the red team, the blue team, Seraphs, getting a few of those skirmishes off, winning them, forcing them into that Lord play, which didn't work out for them. and taking that 3 cap at the very end there to end up winning the game. But very good games overall. I definitely think that the Sares will have a, they're obviously in the finals now, so they're guaranteed at least 800 gems per player. We're going to have to see if they're going to be going up against the Dream. We're not sure. We've got about 1 or 2 more games before that, before the finals, actually. We do have a giveaway coming up, guys. After the break, we'll be giving away 1 800 gem code. It doesn't matter if you're on NA servers or EU servers. So all you have to do to win the gem code is make sure you're following the channel and type something in the Twitch chat within the past 10 minutes of the giveaway being done. So if you go ahead and type something now, you should be okay. We'll give another reminder once we go ahead and give it away, just a couple minutes before it. But go ahead and hit follow, type something in the Twitch chat, and we will be back in just a few short minutes with our next matchup.
Breathe me into the light. Slowly heal the darkness in my heart. I hear you now. A taste was all I needed. I feel your love, loud and clear to the
Welcome back, everybody, to the Academy Gaming Weekly number 10. We have our semifinal matchup up next, which will be the Dream against Swagatron 5000. We do have a giveaway, though, 800 gem code giveaway. To be entered into that, you need to be following the channel, and you must say something in the Twitch chat. So if you haven't went ahead and done both of those, go ahead and do so now, as we will be doing this first of 2 giveaways in just a minute here. I do want to say we have our final giveaway, which will be going on after the game, after all games are over. We have this semifinal matchup going up right now, and then we've got the finals coming up next, which will be the Ceres of Fortuna up against the winner of this game. So gonna go ahead and get started with this gem code giveaway once we've given everybody a sufficient amount of time to type something into the chat here. Just want to have a couple of reminders. We did have the addition of the European tournament that is now under the Academy Gaming name. That was previously called the Tournament of the Gods. We took them under our wing, and they are now the Academy Gaming. They have the same rules that they had before, ran by the same people, but just under one brand now. And I do want to give out a reminder, next week's games will not be streamed. I won't be around. We are going to be putting a max of 8 teams on that tournament, and no free agents will be allowed into it. It still will be ran by my admins with the same rulings as before, but just want to give a heads up with that. But we are going to go ahead and do this giveaway here. So who's going to be taking home the first gem code of the night. This is not bound to NA, by the way. EU can use this. Let's go ahead and do this giveaway. Our first winner of the night is Aerox, who does not follow the channel and who is shoutcasting with me. Technically, Aerox cannot. Technically, Aerox does not win this. He doesn't follow the channel. Doesn't follow the channel.
Dude, I follow the channel. It's right there.
I can't. And you're shoutcasting with me, so I can't do that. I apologize, Aerox.
All right, actually,
our rule again. Our rule is your nasally is cute. Your nasally is cute. You do follow the channel. Go ahead and say something in chat within the next 50 seconds, and you will get your gem code. I apologize for that, Aerox.
It's all right.
Moderators don't get the gem codes either, so it can only be fair that. I mean, to be fair, you weren't following, and last week we had somebody who wasn't following.
I just followed.
I apologize. So your nasally is cute is here. So you did win the gem code. Go ahead and PM me via Twitch. Just let me know that you won, and you will get that gem code later on tonight. So make sure you PM me via Twitch, otherwise you will not get it. So as our first of 2 giveaways for this evening. But we do have a game, obviously. That is what we're here for, right, guys? We've got Swagatron 5000 going up against the Dream here. So if you want to go ahead and take us away with the red team's builds. I guess I will go ahead and take us away.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Okay, I'm just still kind of. First time I've actually won one of those kind of things. All right. Red team is running with 2 DDLs, 2 special DDLs. One of them is running with the Dagger Focus variant. Both running Rue the Hullbrack, I believe. I'm not going to go too in depth into these builds because I think it's basically an all-around kind of bunker. Good support, good damage, especially in the Condi form of burning. And we have a DPS guard, a Muscle Swolberg, running a 01616 with Rue the Traveler and Circular Amulet. This is, I think, just really typical DPS guard. Wasted goes Tiny playing Thief for us, playing something a little different than usual, playing 5-0-0-3-6. This is running, probably going for that 3 acrobatics tree line for the feline grace.
But he's dagger pistol too. That's a little interesting to see that as a dagger pistol.
Yeah, I mean, also running the Rune of Strength and the Berserker Amulet. I can kind of see where he's going from that, but like, I think the Panic Strike is really, it's really tough to give that up. But I do see where he's going. A lot more survivability in that dagger pistol build. Spaz Chromancer is running 00626. Running seems to be a.
He runs a bunker.
Necro.
Yes, he does. He does play bunker necro. He's good at it for what it's worth. He's the only bunker necro I've actually ever seen. But very interesting build, nonetheless.
I'll just go over it a little bit briefly. I'm not too familiar with Necro, but I'll do my best. So we have Settler Amulet with Rune of Water. Probably going for that team support as whenever he uses the heal skill, his other allies are surrounded him will also be healed. Going for the 00626. I think the big thing to note here is probably the Unholy Sanctuary and the stability he gets when going into Death Trap. So definitely really support-oriented bunker, and this is really interesting. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this works out.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, he's going to get 4.5 seconds of stability with Foot in the Grave there going into Death Shroud. It's going to be very interesting to see how he works out with this in particular. And I mean, we've got a DD Ellie, but we've also got a Dagger Focus Ellie, so that's very interesting. Taking a quick look at the blue team, though, the Dream, who did place first in last week's Cup, so they are the favorites to win this tournament once again. We've got Southern Owl here on Dagger Elementalist. He's going to be running the 00266 trait line, nothing too special there. Next we've got Max here, who's going to be playing Shatter Mesmer here. He's got Sword Focus, Great Sword with the Runes of the Pack and Berserker Amulet. He's going to be running 44006. Nothing special. Obviously he does have Mass and Viz over Moa, as most Mesmerists do take nowadays. Next we've got the second Dagger Elementalist for the blue team, who's going to be Infected Angel here running with 00266. And we've got Space Bands running Engineer for this blue team, running Selly Rifle with Sigil of Doom and Leeching with the Runes of the Pack. So his trait lines are going to be 60044. And finally we've got Anya Sagefey, who is the Thief for this team, running Dagger Pistol Shortbow with the Runes of the Pack, Berserker Amulet, and running Panic Strike with 60206. And he is running Blinding Powder. So more and more every time I cast tournaments, I see more and more Thieves taking Blinding Powder over Signet, for example.
I don't know about that. I'm still kind of biased towards the Infiltrator.
I mean, I don't doubt you, but I mean, in this tournament in particular, we've seen a lot more Thieves using Blinding Powder.
Blinding Powder is definitely a much more defensive option. It definitely is really good. I'm not saying it's a bad option. I think that Infiltrators, though, offers a lot more offensive potential, a lot more potential for decaps, and there's a lot more things you can do with Infiltrators than you can say with Blinding Powder.
Yeah, I mean, it's got its perks.
We'll see how that works out.
It's not going to be a nice stun break, though, but it's definitely got its perks. So we're going to have to see how that works out for him here. I'm literally interested to see how the red team's going to fare here. They've got a few out-of-the-meta things going on for them. So take a look at the opening splits here. We got Stealth Play coming out for the blue team, possibly for the red team here with just a Thief. Look at the beach here. The Mesmer teleported the wrong way with this running there. It doesn't look like... we do have Stealth coming out from Wasted, but he's not going to be... He's going to throw down some Thieves. Not going to make a push. Just looking to see if the blue team's going to be crossing here, as they do have 3 members going here. Anya kind of getting caught here, able to get out of here just fine with this heal there, so nothing too special. Blue team does take the henge, but it looks like the red team might be taking the mid node as well. I mean, they've got the DPS Guardian there, and they've got this Bunker Necro, and the blue team does portal out here. Max does go down, so good rotation out of the portal there, and they're going to be making a push for the mid node. Red team kind of wondering what happened at the mine, making sure it's safe and secure, and we're going to be seeing a huge team fight coming out the mid node here.
I think blue team definitely has the advantage in this. This is very reminiscent of what Genesis or Elusive does with the portal on mid and then pushing a fake push so far and before coming back. This gives them the really early advantage in the team fight. You already see that the red team, both the Guardian and the Thief, have gone down to this kind of trickery played by the blue team.
That's definitely true. And we do have the Stomp coming out from the Guardian, and Wasted just getting cleaved out there. So the blue team, you know, they're heavy up here. They're getting the decap on the mine, and they're winning the mid nodes. So this could definitely go south to the red team very quickly here. I mean, they don't have the typical bunker like a warrior or anything like that. So seeing a bunker necro is very interesting. It's nice to see his different play, but it's fulfilling a relatively similar role with less damage, I feel. And he's got a little bit more team support with his heal, obviously, running the Runes of the Water, but this isn't going too well for the red team here at the mid node or anywhere else.
Yeah, when the red team was like has found it like when they see that blue team is kind of pulling that portal play, they really should have just like pulled out in mid, you know, go back to their home node, just kind of regroup, wait till like the advantage has gone over, maybe peel off the sides even.
Yeah, I mean, they're contesting the henge. Blue team's got the cap. This is in their favor. They don't need to do anything. This is an Ellie versus an Ellie. This isn't going to go anywhere anytime soon, unless one's, you know, really good and one's not as good. We got a misform coming out from Rosin there. Very interesting play there. We do have a +1 coming out from Space Bands, but Blue taking this 2 cap. Red did manage to cap their home node at the mine, but you know they're very spread out right now. They got an Elementalist just kind of sitting around henge, and there we have it. Anya getting a free decap on the mine, and possibly decap coming out from Wasted. I think we are going to see, yes, we do have the decap coming out from Wasted, so decaps on both sides there, but Blue still taking 1 point there at their own home node.
It's a very good call by Anya not to engage the Elementalist. That's really not really a favorable match for the Thief. Coming back into mid, you see a huge team fight with 5 of Blue's members, actually only 4 Blue's members with them. And already see that Blue's already taking a hold of this mid fight here, Wasted going down. I love the Necromancer stability, really showing that it can maybe get these clutch red.
Can have some use. Can have some use.
It could have some use, yeah.
I mean, I know Spaz. I've played with him before, played against him before, and he runs Bunker Negro. Nothing else, as far as I'm aware. I mean, he's good at it for what it's worth, but I'm not so sure how much a Bunker Necro is worth compared to something like a Selly Warrior or Selly Ellie. I mean, it has its advantages in a way, but I don't think it's. I mean, it's obviously it's not the meta, so it's not as good.
Anya's going for another decap here, and I kind of question some person's rotations trying to get over that far node, knowing that the mid is probably lost, and the Thief will probably be looking for a decap. The red team Elementals should have stayed at their home node and waited for the other nodes to respawn and make for a push in one of the other nodes.
Yeah, it's about a third decap for Anya there on the mine node, doing an excellent job of rotating, but I just think that some person's misrotating there. You know, he's just kind of letting Anya go right past him, not even detecting it, not even thinking about it. I don't think there's numbers being called for the red team here. They are pushing into the henge here. We got a 2v2 going on. I think this heavily favors the blue team. They got a 3v2 going on here, +1. Red team does have the mid node, blue team has the mine. Hopefully they don't get decapped again, because if they do, that could definitely be the end of the game for them. They've already down 100 points, and not looking too good for them at the henge node. They already got Wasted down, and Muscle Swoleborg getting taken down as well. 3 members of the blue team here, all on top of him. So the red team really need to regroup here if they want to get back into this.
Well, they're just really snowballed. Excellent portal play coming in here, knowing the team fight that the other 2 Elementals will probably be trying to engage at this point. At this point, I think red team should probably just go back at their home node, kind of reduce that snowball effect, and then attempt to push it for a team fight, and maybe go for those decaps with Wasted. But they're just trying to engage at this point needlessly. Having members go down, you have the Guardian going down at the far node, and now this is just going to be a snowball effect happening at the mine node.
And we have some person just getting trained out from mid by the Mesmer and Thief there, able to stay alive, but at the cost of many of his cooldowns. And the other Elemental is getting taken down pretty low as well. Some person does go into the downstate. I think that was a poor move from him to actually go into that fight. He had about 20, 30, 40% health there, but I don't think that was a good move there, as Max and Anya were there to take him down. Plenty of cleave coming out from Space Bands. I'm surprised the red team doesn't pull off and get the res on some person. Only Spaz is sitting on top of them. They are trying to make a push for the mid node with the Guardian, Thief, and Elementalist here, but not making a whole lot of ground. There's so many blue team members there able to stay alive, regardless of whether or not Max is getting kind of low. He's A-okay. He's safe. He's got 3 members of his team full health right beside him.
I feel like blue team should have continued pushing even to mine node, because they had 1 person down at that point. Just having the Ellie rotating to mid, watching their home node and the mid node, is just engaging in that kind of snowball fight, delaying more time to keep the 2 nodes together. But nevertheless, they're going to engage in the mid fight. It's going to be actually in the red team's favor with 5 members of the red team here. They should be able to take this point unless something drastically goes wrong. You kind of see Infected Angel on the blue team side, just kind of hanging out of the henge node, but not really doing much for blue team.
Yeah, I mean, Max is down here, and look at the health pools of the red team. They're doing just fine. We do see Anya peeling out of this fight, thinking maybe it's lost. I'm going to go get a decap. Why not? I've done it before. I can do it again. We do have the decap coming out the mid node. So red team, they won the team fight there. Good job from the red team. They pushed into it, won the team fight, but they didn't rotate out fast enough because we have decap coming out from Anya once again for the 3rd or 4th time this match. And we got 2 elementalists peeling back for him, and blue team the elementalists trying to push into the mid node. I'm not so sure that's a good idea. There we have it. Southern Owl bringing out the FGS to get back out of there. So blue team going to regroup at their home node here. Nothing to worry about. Still up quite a bit, but the red team actually having a victory, this could definitely mean something. Give them a boost to get back into this game.
Blue team seems to be engaging in this fight once again, and having the numbers advantage for a short period of time. This might give blue team the advantage they need to win this mid fight. Wasted gets a good spike off on Anya. Anya going off. I gotta take this call here back 1 sec. Sorry.
We have Anya training Wasted down there. Able to do quite a lot to him. Wasted trying to stay alive here, but the big team fight is coming out here at the mid node. We do have neither person from any team is getting pretty low. We do have Wasted, the thief battle going down here. One of them's going to die soon enough. They can't stay alive forever. Anya trying to stay alive against Wasted. Wasted does take down Anya Sagefey there. Ronin coming in to just support him a little bit. But back on the mid node, though, Spazchromancer gets stomped. Doesn't res Anya, though, as Anya wasn't even close to the fight. Muscle Swolberg was taken down, too. So despite that victory below the keep with Wasted taking out Anya, the blue team is going to be taking this mid node back and forced to play the sides possibly. We got some person over here in the 1v1.
Yeah, alright. Tomorrow night.
You have Wasted trying to get a decap on the mid node. He's going to try and sneak it in front of Southern Owl. Southern Owl was able to get on the point. I'm not so sure why he rode the lightning onto him, but nonetheless did manage to hold him from not getting a decap. Red team kind of spread out here, trying to make a push for the mid node. If they want to get back into this game here, they really got to win this team fight. Wasted going to the downstate's not going to help them. They won a team fight before, and then they lost one, and they could possibly lose this one as well, as we have Wasted finally getting stomped there. Ronin just kind of sitting around mine, making sure it doesn't get decapped. But at this point in the game, with only 70 points to go for the blue team, he needs to push onto this mid node. There's no reason for him to stay there. The only way they're going to win is if they win the team fight, and they're not going to win it without him there. Muscle Swolberg going into the downstate as well, and this isn't looking good for the red team at all.
I'm just coming back into this game. Blue team seems to have a good grasp at both their nodes. The red team, if he's trying to go for a decap, I was going to get denied by an effective angel. Anya is also trying to go for a decap, but again, red team keeping that whole node. But at the same time, blue team has a strong footing at both their nodes, it seems. This team fight at mid is in blue's favor with the 3v2. Eventually it will be taken out, but again, both bunkier members of the red team are at the mid node. At this point, I think it's in blue team's favor.
Yeah, I think we are going to see the Dream taking this match 1-0. I was quite surprised, though. We saw a lot of good plays from Swagatron there. Well, despite the amount of decaps we saw come out from Anya, you could have saw if they would have avoided that many decaps, you could see 360 instead of 260 for the red team here, and it would have looked a lot closer. I mean, I'm really surprised they even made it that close, given their composition they had at hand. With a Bunker Necro, a Scepter Focus Ellie, a DPS Guardian that seemed to be in the wrong place at the wrong time sometimes, is taken out of the fights. They did win a team fight, which was really good for them, but all in all, in the end, the Dream seemed to clean up shop for the most part.
This is just something coming from a Thief perspective, but noticing a lot of the really good decaps, actually from both teams, Thieves, maybe especially Anya going for it. The decision decap is actually probably one of the key components of Thief gameplay in high-level competitive PvP, and it's really you need a lot of map awareness. There's really heavy on decision making. You have to know, is your team winning? It's not just based on health pools, it's also based on how your team is overall, kind of just what they're saying, what stomps they're trying to go for, and overall you want to go for decaps, especially if your team is winning a team fight and they're off rotation. Getting that quick decap, going back into mid can really increase that disparity between your team winning and the other team losing.
Yeah, it's definitely true, and we did see sparks of hope from the red team. A lot of teams coming in here, it's first time they're pugging it or just playing with some friends, and they're not really winning a lot of the fights, but when they do, you can definitely see some potential in what they could actually do if they worked on it. We saw Wasted taking out Anya there. That was a pretty good move from him. He was able to take him down and eliminate them, but unfortunately, upstairs in the middle fight, at the keep node, they lost the fight, and it didn't really work in their favor. So, they did win a team fight at the mid node at one point, which was really nice for them as well. But overall, the blue team definitely had the advantage for most of that game.
I kind of still want red team to win though, just because of the Necro. I think his build is awesome and really clever. I'm wondering
that's a
if
very
maybe
interesting build.
his heal skill. I think there's a well that's also a heal skill as well. That is on a shorter cooldown. Can maybe take advantage of those water runes that he's running.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see. I mean, I've never seen water runes actually being used. You know, on a necromancer that is too. I mean, let alone in general, I've never been seeing them being used for the most part. But on a necromancer is even more crazy. Seeing a bunker necro here. We do have the game getting started underway here. We're gonna have to take a look at some opening splits here. We did see 3-point push from both teams last time, but only one of them actually committed to it. So we're gonna have to see if they decide to do it again. We usually do see Anya stealth up here and push into the mid node, but he may be pushing for this far node. We don't have any waterfall plate from the red team, so we're going to see a 3-node push for the blue team as Anyu's making his way to Quarry and 2-node for the red team. So they're going to have the advantage at the beginning here, but I don't think they have enough damage to capitalize on it.
This is the exact same strat that they're playing last time. They're probably, again, this is a very elusive Genesis kind of strat. Dropping the portal mid, faking a push that far, waiting for rotations for red team to react, and then adjusting and portaling back when needed.
I mean, red team got the cap. Red team got the cap. That's what they needed. We do have Disco over here getting super low. We did have a change of classes. Disco changed to Thief from the Guardian, and Pink, Little Wasted, went from Thief to Guardian. So a little bit of a swap there. He's going to be playing. He's going to be playing a Bunker Guardian, nonetheless. Shouts for the most part there. So not going to be the DPS Guardian. They're going to lose a little bit of damage there. And Pink, Little Wasted goes in a downstate here, looking pretty good. Pretty good opening for the blue team for the most part, as they did just stomp out the Bunker Guardian.
Yeah, I mean, the portal on mid definitely gave them the advantage for a short period of time. I think that made a difference in this team fight, giving blue team the upper edge. And
we do have Ani Sagefei. Ani Sagefei making a push for the core, getting that free decap. No one on the red team even close to contest that. It's like we have Ronin trying to make a push for it, but he's not going to get there in time, I don't think. Yeah, that decap's coming out for him, and Ani is not even going to fight it. He's just going to get that decap. Let his team build a lead here and push back into the mid node where we have a big fight coming in for both teams here.
It's very good decap. I mean, like, you just gotta know, like, alright, there's 4 people here and one of them's down. That means their far node's free. Like, that kind of calculation, that kind of quick thinking is really crucial with the team fight.
That's definitely true. Red team taking back their home node, but at the cost of the mid node. Scromancer, Disco, both down, both about to get cleaved out here. We only have some person, Pink, Little Wasted here. Should be able to stay alive for a little bit, but there's so much damage coming out from the blue team. Yeah, some person just getting bursted down there by Anya, an infected angel. He's going to miss on the point. We're going to have to see if they try for res. Nothing. I don't think Pink, Little Wasted is going to actually be able to get that. Does have that knockback. Able to get the stomp right away, but yeah, no way he's getting that stomp. Doesn't have any cooldowns, or excuse me, that res. Doesn't have any cooldowns here either, and his team's just going to kind of funnel back in here. They need to get out of here, regroup, and, you know, think about trying to get a decap. We do have Disco, who is trying to make a push for Waterfall, stopped by the Engineer and Thief. He needs to get out of there, regroup as a team, and push for a big team fight.
Yeah, red team definitely needs to regroup. Not going to get top position at this point. Really regroup their numbers and then push for a point. It seems like they also seem like they're going again for the mid node, but at the same time, like, the Guardians just came out of spawn. They should really wait a bit longer, you know, and they're ready. The fight is already starting, and they're going to start at a disadvantage here near their home node.
Yeah, I mean, they're not even fighting on the node here. Most of them are fighting in the roads, which is not very good for them. So Scromancer is their bunker for the most part with that Guardian here, and he's just kind of defending that home node. They need to just make a big push onto the mid node, or just forget it and push to far. I mean, they've got some person up there. He's going to try and get a decap and see if, let's see if he can get it on space bands. I mean, the FGS coming out from Southern Owl, so he's going to get on there with that lightning flash as well. Nothing too special coming out. Some person force back to the mid node. Possibly we're going to have to see if he sticks around back at the mid node. We do have Disco going in the downstate despite having the advantage because there are 2 blue team members over here. By the waterfall. This is a 4v3 in the favor of the red team, and they still seem to be losing this fight here.
It seems like a bit of over-rotation by blue team, sending 2 members back to their home node. They could have just kept one of their selling members to defend off against the Ellie. This may have caused them actually to maybe give red team a slight advantage, but at the same time, red team is still losing the team fight even with the numbers advantage.
Oh, the stomp coming out on Disco just before that res coming off. Anya getting that decap once again, second time this match, always on top of those decaps. Good plays from Anya, building that lead just about 85 points now. Red team did bail out of the mid fight a little bit, pushing into a 2v1 at the waterfall, but Southern Owl being a dagger elementalist should be able to stay alive for quite a while, especially for Space Bands to come in with that FGS. Nothing to worry about there. Red team is going to be taking back the quarry node, and a couple of the members, Spazchromancer caught out here at the mid node, not a place he wants to be. And it's not going to look good for him as he's just going to get bled out here and waste about 30 to 45 seconds for his team here if they bleed him out and choose not to stop him. So blue team's got the advantage for the next minute or so here.
A little bit indecision from the blue team. Kind of the Mesmer Thief is wondering where to go, what point to go. The red team already has quite a numbers advantage at fall point. Falls. They could have, I think, if blue team decided earlier to gauge their falls, they could have ended this fight a lot earlier, securing both 2 nodes for the blue team.
Yeah, I mean, we do have the Elementalist pushing for the mid node. Infected, possibly just trying to look at it. Yeah, he's not going to let that decap happen. We do have the Disco Thief going to the mid node, going to +1 that. Looks like they're possibly just going to bail out of the waterfall. They do have Spazchromancer, who looks like he's going to make it a push for waterfall, but Pink Little Wasted goes in the downstage. This is not looking good for the red team. They are just going to make a push for the mid node instead of fighting that. But once again, they're at a disadvantage. They were at a disadvantage at that fight. They've been down a member every single time for the past couple minutes in all fights because one member got caught out and wasn't able to rotate out of a fight before he died.
Yeah, at this point, like, red team is just kind of falling apart here. We see the Necromancer taking a lot of damage. But doing a good job of actually sustaining himself. Giving a bit more time for red team to pull himself together. But yeah, I think red team needs a lot more time than that. They're losing a lot of these fights going on. Their Elementalist is dying at far node, and the mid fight isn't going to be going well for red team either. Play going off, but again, not being enough. Necromancer trying to get out of the point, but Necromancer not having that mobility to, compared to, let's say, an Elementalist, being unable to get out of those team fights.
I mean, he doesn't even have Worm. He has the double well and the protection, so it's not going to be too much of a mobility boost for him at all. And once again, they're at a disadvantage. See, we have the Elementalist coming off respawn into the point, but the Necromancer just died. He's still being cleaved out, so he's not up for another 20 seconds here until he gets back in this fight, if not more. We do have Disco, pushing for the waterfall, no for a decap, but Space Band's all over that. Not going to allow that to happen, so good communication there coming out from the Dream. And they're probably just going to hold this 2-cap for the rest of the game and, let the red team get some, points off of the quarry, and I'm sure we'll see it getting a decap. Yep, there we go. Anya getting that free decap. Ronin not even pursuing it. I mean, he was in stealth, but nonetheless, you should assume that a thief, when they stealth right by your home node, they're going to push into it and try to get a decap. You don't want to take that risk.
Blue team is playing it seems like we're being called GGs here by the red team.
And we do see GGs. I want to confirm that.
It seems like it. I think it's pretty confirmed with 4 people saying.
Make sure we do have it. Yes, okay, there we have it, folks. The Dream taking game 2, not even, needing to get 500 points. It felt like the red team Swagatron was just at a huge disadvantage there from the get-go. I mean, losing a player and most fights, and then pushing into 4 people into a mid-fight and being at a disadvantage. It felt like that was the case for most of their team fights.
I really like Blue's kind of strat going into that game. Keeping the 2 nodes, having the Thief decap. I mean, having a Mesmer Thief it's really risky to play 3 nodes, because if either Mesmer or Thief get caught out of position by anywhere in the map, it's really hard to maintain those 3 nodes. So just, playing it safe, keeping those 2 nodes, having the Thief decap was definitely the optimal strategy for blue team.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, the Dream, once again, making their way into the finals. Last week we saw the Dream taking on Seraphs of Fortuna in the finals, and we will be seeing it again. I believe it was last week. The Seraphs actually lost the first game, won the second game, forced it to a game number 3 on Kylo, and did manage to lose that against the Dream, doing an excellent job of rotating. So we're going to have to see if the Dream will end up taking it this week again, or if the Seraphs of Fortuna are going to avenge the Dream and actually take this cup. So we're going to have to see in the next matchup, which will be the finals. We will be back after a short break here with the last matchup of the night, and then we will go ahead and have our final 800 gem code giveaway after that. So stay tuned, guys.
disco, disco, like the disco, disco.